Hello, everybody. It's Mr. Brown, your science teacher. Today, let's make a video appropriate for all ages. We are going to explore the science of Wisconsin. Wisconsin, my favorite state, born and raised. Let's check out the map here. We see roads and freeways and cities. Today, we're going to go around and figure out some of the interesting scientific sites around the state. Let's start off by going up to the top of the state. This is the Apostle Islands, located way up at the top there. It is been set aside as a natural area for you to explore. It's not covered by cities and factories and houses. It's actually been left in the natural state. So go up there, you can get yourself a canoe and explore from island to island. Look at that, doesn't that look neat? Here we can see some of the sites you may encounter up there at the Apostle Islands. Notice the erosion that has been taking place by the Lake Michigan waves. But if you really want to see something cool, go up there in winter when the place has frozen over and you will be treated to the world famous ice caves of the Apostle Islands. Check out this photograph here inside one of the ice caves. All right, let's keep moving here. We are going to the center of the state. Let's visit Rasha Crees State Park. I've included state parks in here because, well, they're open to the public. Get yourself a Wisconsin State Park sticker and explore some of this stuff. You might find it interesting. So what will you find here? You will find a big rock sticking up out of the landscape. This has been an important landmark for many hundreds, possibly thousands of years, as people can spot this thing from miles around as a gathering place. This was a gathering place for Civil War sharpshooters as they would target practice against the base of the rock. What's even more interesting is they have preserved petroglyphs, hieroglyphic carvings and markings from hundreds, if not thousands of years ago, still visible in the park, along with inscriptions from Civil War soldiers, as well as modern day graffiti. Let's move along to the bottom of the state. Let's head over to Kenosha County, where in 1964, some guys were digging in a ditch, and what did they stumble upon? Extinct mammoth fossils discovered in a ditch in Kenosha. So they dug them up, cleaned them off, and reassembled them, and you can check these out at the Kenosha Museum. Look at that. Big mammoth fossils found right here in Wisconsin. So if we were to go back, say 13,000 years ago, we would have seen a family of mammoths walking through southern Wisconsin. Amazing stuff. Next, let's go up to Copper Falls State Park. Again, open to the public. Get yourself a state park sticker and check it out. What will you find there? Well, as the name implies, you'll find some waterfalls that are kind of, I don't know, copper colored, I guess. But what's super interesting is the trails up there are covered in red granite. Big deal. So what, you say, red granite? Well, the big deal is red granite is only formed through volcanic eruptions. So are you saying that this part of the state was once a volcanic eruption? Yeah, but we're going to have to go old school. We are going back 1 billion years in the past, and this is Wisconsin, a billion years ago, a lava-covered volcanic landscape. Wow. How do you know, Mr. Brown? You weren't around 1,000 billion years ago. That's right, I wasn't. But I'm able to look at the evidence around today, and I can see where the lava flow was based on the volcanic rock that it left behind. That's called deductive reasoning. Gotta love science. All right, next, let's head out way to the tip of Door County to Rock Island State Park. Why does this make the list? This is the most difficult state park to get to in all of Wisconsin. Not only do you have to take a ferry from Door County out to Washington Island, you then have to take a second ferry to get to Rock Island. Not the easiest thing to do It's going to take a little bit of planning to get out there, but once you're out there, you will find this neat island. Here's a helicopter view that has been preserved, and it has trails and forests. And this is a shot of one of the trails that goes along the ancient landscape of Rock Island State Park. Cool stuff. All right, next. Let's head out towards the western edge of the state to the Kickapoo River. Big deal, it's just a river. Well, the big deal is the Kickapoo River is one of the oldest, one of the twistiest, and one of the turniest rivers in the entire world. In fact, the word Kickapoo translates to turns this way and that way. This is an old, old river going back literally millions of years. And it's open for you to explore. This is what you might see if you explore it. You can jump in a kayak or a canoe and check it out as it twists back and forth on its millions of year old path. Kickapoo River. All right, next up is Lizard Mound Park in West Bend, open to the public. What will you find at Lizard Mound Park in West Bend? Oh, a grass-covered hill. Big deal, you ask. Well, this isn't natural. This was made by people. Not 10 years ago, not 100 years ago, but we're talking 1,000 years ago. These are effigy mounds created by the Native American peoples that lived in Wisconsin long before European settlers. You can actually kind of make out some of the shapes that they were trying to make. You can see here that after 1,000 years, these shapes have still remained intact. Interesting stuff. So if you were around back then, here we are in the year 700 Common Era, the Native Americans of Wisconsin, they knew that if you build stuff out of wood, it's going to rot away. But if you build stuff out of dirt and pack it down real tight, it'll last generations, which it has. In fact, Wisconsin is one of the world leading places to find these effigy mounds. Everywhere you see a little black dot here is one of these effigy mound sites scattered all over Wisconsin. Check it out. Pretty cool history. Next up, let's travel to the coast of Lake Michigan. One of the Great Lakes, Lake Michigan, and what will you find? You'll find water, yeah, but what's underneath the water is you will find hundreds of shipwrecks. Lake Michigan is one of the most dangerous lakes in the world, and everywhere you see a little spot on this map, there's a ship at the bottom. Here you can see a ship that went under right off the coast of Wisconsin. In fact, there are so many shipwrecks that sometimes in the spring, from a helicopter, you can see them down there at the bottom. There are so many shipwrecks in Lake Michigan that off the coast of Sheboygan, Manitowoc, and Port Washington, they're thinking about setting up some sort of nature preserve for scuba divers to go check out all of these shipwrecks. Interesting stuff. Next up, let's check out this green line, which is the Ice Age Trail. This is a trail open to the public, which you can explore through Wisconsin. But why does it take such a weird, twisty, turny path? Why doesn't it just go straight across the state? Well, the reason is you need to go back to the Ice Age and see what was going on. And let's go back 12,000 years. Sure enough, that trail follows the old extent of the glaciers as they made their furthest push here into Wisconsin, leaving behind all sorts of interesting glacial features. In fact, the glacial features of Wisconsin are so amazing, they attract geologists from around the world come here to Wisconsin to see them. Pretty cool. Next, let's finish up in the largest city in Wisconsin, Milwaukee. What do we have going on here? Well, we have this little university called MSOE, the Milwaukee School of Engineering. What do they have going on that's interesting? Well, they have built one of the biggest, fastest supercomputers in all of Wisconsin. They named it Rosie, and it is hundreds of GPUs linked together to create an amazing supercomputer. All right, so picture the computer at your house linked together with hundreds of other computers like it, creating this massive brain. Nice job, MSOE. All right. That concludes our video. This is a list of the topics you saw here today. If you wish to maybe check them out further. All right, I want to give credit to the Wisconsin DPI, the Wisconsin DNR, UWM, and Wisconsin Geological and Natural History Survey for helping me out with this information today. All right, click like on my channel, subscribe, and I will do more of these videos. All right, thanks a lot. We'll see you later. Bye for now.